Hello everyone, and welcome to a very special video that I've been saying I was going to do for a while. So we hit 100 subscribers recently, and I just want to thank all of you guys for that so much, for supporting this channel and watching me. It's a huge milestone. I've been posting videos for a long time, and I'm really just glad that you guys are still enjoying them and you want to see more content, and that's just wonderful and great. And when I started, I had no idea what was ever going to happen and if anyone would ever watch me. So I'm just so incredibly happy to say that the channel has reached 100 subscribers. Each one of you is important to that, and I am so thankful for each and every one of you that watches my videos for, just supporting what I do, because I have a lot of fun with it. So I said what I would do for this video was a Q&A, and I got a couple questions from viewers, but I didn't get very many, so I also pulled some just from the general internets that I thought would be maybe fun or something you want to know about me. So I have a short list of questions here. We're going to go through them, I'm going to answer them, and this is going to be my 100 subscriber special. So here we go. So my first question, I'm going to go through the questions I got from viewers first. Do you have or are you getting SOS now that it's finally out? So if you've been watching my channel recently, you'll see that I played SOS, The Ultimate Escape, in both pre-alpha and the beta, and I put that on YouTube, so I have a lot of videos up there of that. So I haven't decided if I'm getting SOS yet. I've gone back and forth on it. It's a really fun game, but I'm also just not super financially set at the moment, and so I don't know if I want to spend $30 on SOS. I also have concerns about, now that it's out to the masses, just the player base becoming more annoying. It might be more difficult to form teams. I think more people might just be kind of dicks and kill you on sight, and I have a lot of concerns about where the game is going, so maybe I need to see how it's playing now that anyone can play. So I might look into it. I haven't ruled it out yet. I might still buy it, but right now I'm on the fence about it. If you guys really want me to play SOS, that's something you can tell me, and I'll take that into consideration when I'm looking at it. So yeah, that's where we are with SOS. All right. Another question I got was Dragon Age. Did you cancel or pause it, and somehow I missed an update about it? So Dragon Age. Dragon Age was recommended to me by a very dear friend of mine, and I did enjoy the game, but I got to a point where I couldn't continue on in either of the quests we were working on because I kept dying, and I kept trying different things, and I tried grinding up, and I recorded a bunch more episodes after the last one that I actually posted, but they were all me attempting to do the exact same thing and failing tons and tons of times. So eventually I decided to retire Dragon Age from the channel. I'm not sure if I ever officially announced that. It's definitely not the only game that's just gone silent on the channel. But that's kind of where I am with Dragon Age. I don't know what happened. I must have fallen behind somehow, and I just wasn't able to catch back up. And so my party just kept dying. So I did retire Dragon Age, and currently I have no plans to bring it back to the channel, although of course if it's something that you really would like to see again, you can always tell me that, and I'll take that into consideration. Next question. Have you ever gotten way too emotional or even cried to a movie not really known to have that effect on other people in general? Absolutely. A lot of people who know me personally would say that I'm a very emotional person. I cry at happy endings, I cry at sad endings, I cry in the middle if a character I really like is just like having a bad time because I just really want them to be happy. Um, so I've definitely gotten emotional at movies where you're not really expected to. Although I've actually been like stewing over this question for a few days, like trying to think of a specific example, and I have trouble with that. Um, because I think for me, it's hard to determine like what movies shouldn't have that impact on other people because that always has that impact on me. But I definitely get too emotional with movies. It happens all the time. I do it with TV shows too, for sure. Like, there was that one episode of Doctor Who where like the Dalek gets all confused because it absorbs some like human DNA, and like the ending, most people, like, I guess the people I saw it with the first time didn't think it was sad, and I thought it was like horribly sad, and I was like crying. So that's like the one like actual example I can think of, and that's not even a movie. So I'll let you know if I think of a specific movie that had that effect, but I can't think of one right now. How old were you when you learned to ride a bike? So this one's a weird one because, my parents tried to teach me how to ride a bike at like all the normal ages. Like when you're really little, they, start like you with training wheels and then they try and take them off. Well, I was really bad at riding a bike and I just fell down a lot and I got hurt a lot. So I was always scraped up. And I eventually just decided that I didn't care that much to know how to ride a bike. So I gave up and I actually didn't learn how to ride a bike until I was probably about 12. So yeah, there were just a lot of years where I did not care about bikes. I might have been a little younger. I might have been like 11, but it was pretty late in my lifetime when I actually learned how to ride a bike, that's for sure. What's the first amusement park you went to? Is the next question. And this one, I feel like I probably don't have a very original answer because it was Disneyland. At least that's the first one I remember going to. Maybe my parents took me somewhere when I was younger, but like taking really little kids to amusement parks doesn't make a lot of sense to me anyway. But I was about 5 when my parents first took me to Disneyland, and I don't have the greatest memory of this vacation, but I have some memories of it. And I know my parents said that I just had a ball. So yeah, that was the first amusement park I've been to. I've now been to a few more, although Disneyland probably still up there as one of my favorites. All right. Do you always smile for pictures? No. I don't know of anyone who literally always smiles for pictures, but I have an interesting anecdote for this, which is why I picked this question. We're into the ones where I pick them off of the internet now. So I have a grandmother who could be described as unpleasant. She's just not a very nice person, and apparently she's been that way most of her life, according to the rest of my family. And at one point in my life when I was in a very like tomboyish stage and she didn't like that. She wanted me to be like very girly and wear dresses and pink, and I was not having any of that. She told me that if I would actually smile more, then I might look pretty. And so because of that, I decided that whenever she was attempting to take a picture of me, I would purposefully frown. So that's probably where I started not always smiling for pictures, because I want to say I was around 10 when she did this. And so, yeah, that's my interesting anecdote. And it drove her insane. She got so mad. So, I mean, it had the effect that I was looking for at the time. What movies could you watch over and over and still love? So, I mean, I have a lot of movies that are probably on this list, even though I don't watch movies very often. I more so like watch like TV shows on Netflix or something than I sit down and watch movies. But like some of my all-time favorite movies to just watch are probably The Martian with Matt Damon. I love that movie. I love the book too. I read the book in nearly a single sitting. I would have read it in a single sitting, except that I had plans later that day. Um, I love that movie. I think it's great. I have watched it on repeat. So I can say that one. Currently my favorite movie, although I've only seen it twice because it's still in theaters, is The Greatest Showman with Hugh Jackman. That's definitely up there, and I've been listening to the soundtrack of that on repeat. So I think I could probably watch that movie on repeat and not get bored of it. But we'll have to wait until it's actually been released for me to figure that one out. Were you ever a Girl Scout? This is definitely a no. I was never a Girl Scout. My parents never pushed me to become a Girl Scout. And that's mainly because they felt like Girl Scouts were mainly just girls who sold cookies. And I know the Girl Scouts are more than that. I do, but I was never pushed to be a Girl Scout, and I never particularly had an interest in going out and becoming a Girl Scout. I enjoyed doing other things that wasn't being a Girl Scout. Okay, favorite, dog or cat? So I'm gonna be against the vast majority of people here, but I'm a cat person. I always have been. I grew up with cats. You know, my parents had a cat when I was born, so there was just always a cat in the house. And then when I was 7, they adopted me my own cat, and he was just the little love of my life. That little guy passed away just a couple of years ago, actually. And because of that, I have always been a cat person. I do not in any way dislike dogs. I just know that if I were to be caring for an animal, I would prefer for it to be a cat. Alright, this one's just a fun one that I picked, which is grab the book nearest to you and go to page 18, line 4. What is it? So if I had to pick the book nearest to me, I am actually sitting right by my bookshelf, so there are a lot of books like really close to me, but probably like line of distance, shortest one. This is gonna be interesting because I think it's gonna be a textbook. Yep, it's gonna be a textbook. Oh boy. Let's see. I'm gonna read the line, then I'll tell you what book it is, because maybe it'll be funny. Past page 18. Page 18, line 4. It's not really that fun. It says, given position as a mathematical function of time, calculus provides a quick way to find instantaneous velocity. Probably gives you a huge hint as to the book I picked up. It's a university physics book. Oh, how nice. I did not enjoy physics, just to make this anecdote a little bit longer since the line was not funny. Maybe I'll do another book. I'll go up one shelf and do the book closest to me there, just because it's not a textbook, so maybe it'll be better. Let's see, page 18, line 4. It literally just says, look at this, just look. This one was a Princess Diaries book I've had forever. I don't even remember. Oh, this is the 8th one. Luckily it says it on it. I was like, I don't remember which book in the series it was. I read those books a long, long time ago. I haven't read them recently. Maybe I should. Alright. So we did that for 2 books since the first one was a textbook. Can you touch your nose with your tongue? Answer, no, I cannot. I absolutely cannot. I will show you. Look. That's my best attempt. My boyfriend can do this, and he makes fun of me when he tries to do it, or when he does it, because then I try to do it, and he thinks it just looks really, really funny. Did you go to university? Yes. For sure, I went to university. I am still at university. I will always be at university. That's how I feel anyway. And kind of also that's my goal. But yes, I have a bachelor's degree in general biology, and I'm currently working on my master's, which is also in biology with a concentration in ecology, evolution, and conservation. And my goal is after this to hopefully go on to a PhD, but we'll see how that goes. I don't have any word about whether or not I'll be able to do that yet, but I am hopeful. And my end goal is I would actually like to teach at a university. So, to the question, did you go to university? The answer is pretty much always. All right, this is my last question, because I kind of just ran out of good ones that I could find on the internet, and I'm not a very inventive person. But what would you do with $1,000? Now here I'm gonna get a little, philosophical. When you're a kid and you hear like $1,000, you think it's so much money. Like, oh, I could do everything with $1,000. And then you become an adult and you realize $1,000 isn't very much money to have. So I still thought this one was interesting because I'm going to answer it a couple of ways. One, what would I actually do if I were just randomly given $1 million with like no strings attached? I would probably either put it in my savings account or make a student loans payment. I got student debt, the whole university thing coming back around again. But if I had to spend it on like buying stuff, since that's probably the more interesting answer, that would be really tough. I mean, there's a lot of things that I'd like to try to get into, like hobby-wise, that would take some money. Um, a nice set of calligraphy pens could be really fun. I've been trying to teach myself some calligraphy. I have some water brush pens that I've been using because they're cheap. And so I can just, practice with those and maybe someday work up like enough talent to feel like I can justify purchasing really nice pens. But maybe if I had $1,000, I'd buy them. What else? I mean, like there are video games coming out that I would buy. Kitty Powers Love Life is coming out in a few days, and I'm so stoked. I loved Kitty Powers Matchmaker so much. So that's definitely going to be on the channel. Hopefully you guys want to see that or care. Um, what else would I buy? I see this is how you know that like my life's not too bad. Like I'm not like, oh, I need it for like new shoes. I have shoes. I even bought a new pair of workout shoes fairly recently. Granted, it was because my old pair fell apart. Um, Maybe like a drawing tablet for my computer. Like again, going back to the art stuff. I'm not super artistic, but I do enjoy it. And I've been told by people that I'm not that bad at it, but I've never had like enough talent or money to like go in and buy like expensive stuff for it. So maybe that. Maybe like I don't know, if I had $1,000, maybe I'd buy some sort of workout machine so I wouldn't have to go to the gym anymore. And I could just, exercise at home because I think it would get me to exercise more often because there are just days where I'm like, I don't feel like going to the gym, even though the gym is like less than a block away from my apartment. Sometimes I just don't want to go. So I think that's what I'd do with $1,000. Those are all the questions that I picked out for this video, and I think it was a good set. I think I got to talk to you about like some anecdotes in my life. Hopefully you guys wanted to hear them if you clicked on this video. But yeah, so guys, once again, just thank you so much for 100 subscribers. I can't wait to see where this channel goes from here. I'm very excited to keep making content for you, and I really hope you guys are excited to keep seeing what I make. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this question and answer video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And as always, I'm the Purple Pegasus, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.